Alright, it's Henry again, and as most of you know by now, I'm kind of a fanatic for option hands, so here I am yet again with another set of option hands, but these are kind of unique. You're not going to see people review these very often. These are actually from G-System, same company that made my 1/100 scale XS Gundam and lots of other fantastic looking resin kits. These aren't resin though, they're actually plastic. G-System has the capability to make plastic injection stuff, just like Bandai, although they do stick primarily to resin. And this is a set of 1/60th scale hands. You may be asking, why get poseable hands for a 1/60 scale kit? Well, 1/60 scale kits already have really good hand articulation. And that's true. Getting these for a perfect grade would be kind of pointless because it's just the same articulation. But some of the 1/100 scale no grades have poseable hands alright, but not as good a posability as a perfect grade. Kits like the 1/60 scale God Gundam, Wing Zero, Freedom, Exia, stuff like that. And yeah. So you can see the little holographic G-System logo there with the deep striker in the background. That's how you know it's authentic. And on the back you get very, very simple instructions. So let's open these up and take a look. Alright. There's that. And the hands themselves. Now, they just give you two identical runners, and then just give you the left and right palm parts on each runner. So you're going to have two parts you'll be throwing away on each runner. And just like on perfect grades, these fingers are already poseable right on the runner. So can't really move them while they're still connected, but you'll see them in a few minutes. So yeah, just got, you'll have a movable wrist. It's got a peg. I was kind of hoping it would have a ball joint, but a lot of the 1/60 scale kits, the ball joints are all different sizes, but I've got a solution to that, which I'll show you later on in the video. Got the front and right and left, front and back of the palm of the hand, a backing here, and then you get a thumb and of course 4 fingers. So let's get these assembled and take a look at them. Alright, so here are the hands fully assembled, and as you can see they look very much like perfect grade hands. They only come in this one color, by the way, this kind of medium gray. And like I said earlier, the articulation is pretty much the same as a perfect grade. You'll have a hinge right here that'll be able to go up and down at the wrist. The thumb is on a ball joint, so it can swing back and forth. This joint is a ball joint as well, so you've got up and down, left and right, wiggle, and rotation. And then the end joint is just a hinge. And of course, all 4 fingers are on ball joints, and all 4 fingers have 2 joints each and can bend like so. So there you go, pretty much your standard perfect grade hand articulation. And just for a quick little comparison, here is an actual perfect grade hand. So there you go. Pretty much the same things. Fingers on this one are a little bit skinnier. Honestly, I don't think it's really that big of a deal. But if it does bother you, you could always sand these fingers down a little bit more narrow if you really wanted to. And like I said earlier, the switching these out with a perfect grade hand is actually kind of pointless, because perfect grades already have hands exactly like these. The reason I bought these was to use on the hands of a 1/60th scale no grade. Now 1/60th scale no grades have hands pretty much like a Master Grade 2.0. You got a ball joint wrist, a ball joint thumb, and then each finger's on a ball joint and has one hinge, which works okay, but sometimes the posability isn't all that great. Like getting like expressive poses isn't as easy as it is on a hand like this. So that's where I think these are really going to come in handy. These look a little bit bigger than this one, but I think if I just sand the fingers down a little bit, I can make the sizes match up just fine. The one and only problem here is that we've got a peg instead of a ball joint, but I do have a solution to that. All I gotta do is cut off this ball joint, drill a hole in it, and insert it on that peg. And just for a quick scale comparison, so you can see the hands are perfectly in scale with an average 1/60 scale mobile suit. And they're able to hold the beam rifle perfectly well. Speaking of holding the weapons, these hands do have two little holes in them. So even if the model kit you're using these hands on doesn't have pegs in the weapons, you could easily just make pegs with plot plate to align with these two holes in the hands there. One last thing I do want to point out is that G-System advertises these for use on 172 and 1/60th scale kits. Now I've just been showing them on 1/60th scale kits, and Bandai, to my knowledge, doesn't make any 172 scale kits. G-System, on the other hand, makes lots of 172 scale kits, and I think an average sized 172 scale kit these would be too big for, but larger mobile suits like Kshatriya and Sinanju, these would work pretty well in 172 scale, both of which G-System just happens to make. So that about does it for my review of the 172/160th scale G-System hands. And I actually really like these. Like I said numerous times in the review so far, they're going to be pretty much pointless on a perfect grade, but these really have a value if you're going to be using them on a 1/60 scale no grade, like I'm planning to do. The posability is just like on a perfect grade. The construction and the feel of the hands is very similar to a perfect grade. They don't feel cheap. They don't feel like, you know, low quality anything. G-System is a very reputable model kit manufacturer, and these actually feel really nice quality. They're made out of ABS plastic, and I think they're going to work out really well for what I need them for. And also on people that like to customize their kits, if you're doing like a custom 1/60th scale kit, you would certainly be able to use these for that. Or just maybe even a 1/100 scale kit with really big hands, like maybe you're doing a custom Psycho Gundam or something. Well, no, I think 1/144 scale would be more appropriate for Psycho Gundam. But anyway, these retail for about $20, and $20 might seem a little bit pricey just for hands, but if you can afford the 1/60 scale kit, you can afford the hands, so use your own judgment there when deciding whether you think these are worth it or not. So, that about does it for this review, and with that, I'll see you guys next time.